Well, to the best of my recall, I met Alan when he was probably in his mid-teens, somewhere in the very early 1970s. I don't remember if it was through Greg Krieger or just my interest in racing at that time. I started my own racing and building race cars when I was about 16 years old. And Alan and I just seemed to get along pretty well. He was pursuing a college degree, which myself and my whole family, my kids have all gone to college. And at that time, that was a big deal in NASCAR racing, maybe a precedent. And he needed some of the things that we could do. You know, he was racing at Slinger and so on. And of course, everybody in their profession, whether it's racing or photography, wants to move up and be the great at the big leagues. And he had just local sponsors, you know, radio stations or supper clubs, so on. And I had the experience in marketing, which was part of what we did along with the industrial design for our clients, that I volunteered to help him market himself. And that would include things like presentations to national potential sponsors and even car owners, whatever we could do to kind of up the professionalism of the team. He had won everything he could win at Slinger, and he was only 18 or 20 then, I'm not sure. So it was a natural thing to do, and he needed the help, and I of course volunteered it without cost. And it was fun being involved, and he was about the age of my kids at that time, and they all got along and thought this was all just really neat to do. After things were going well with Xerox and on the tour and everything was put together and garage was built, he called me one day and said, Xerox is pulling out of racing. He said, I've got an opportunity for an interview at Hooters. Again, I remember this call very pronounced. It was on a Thursday. And he said, I've got an opportunity to meet with Hooters in Atlanta on Saturday afternoon. What can we do? Well, all you have to do is go to Atlanta and look for a package from me that comes overnight, special delivery, I guess. So with that in mind, I took one of these blank sketches that I had done for Xerox that I showed you earlier and looked up Hooters restaurants on the internet to see what their logo was and their colors and so on. Because they, at that time, I don't think they were in any kind of racing. And then I made up a Hooters car. And it was painted just like the sketch that I did. I did it in an afternoon, so it could hit the overnight at pickup here at 7 o'clock and be down in Atlanta. Well, things worked out. The sketch made it to Atlanta. Hooters looked at the car, again, to repeat the same sort of story. They could see this car everywhere, and it could appear at Hooters restaurants. They could sell Alan Kulwicki Hooters shirts and so on. And he called me then, as you asked, from Atlanta and said, Hooters bought it, we're back in business. I think 20 years ago when he entered Winston Cup racing, he set a new standard for professionalism, for educationalism, for the ability to speak well-groomed, personal presentation that the sponsor, I'm sure the sponsors saw. They can picture him addressing their board of directors or a dealer meeting. Dealer meetings love race cars and greet and meet race car drivers. Well, you got to have a driver that is like they all are now. Now they interview the driver and say, yeah, we've looked at your record, car paint job looks good, but you're our man, and we'll use you on a soda can or something. You know, he, I think, really initiated that. He would come in a black suit and, you know, combing his hair just right. And at that time, you have to think back 20 years, it was a much rougher bunch of good old boys. And some of them had, I would guess, too strong a Southern accent to even interview. You have to appear to everybody in every state, in every city. So you have to be somewhat neutral, but raise the standards. And he did that, and you can see the standard today. I can't say that it was all due to him, but he was about the first one. And it won't change from here on.